rebellious.
The opinions expressed in this program do not necessarily reflect those of the host or the producers. Welcome to Universal Connection Radio. Today we have a group talk, which is a new feature on UCR. We will be discussing different subjects which we all either have struggled with or are struggling with in relation to being and staying centered and happy. Today's subject is how to stay connected and in touch with your inner self. Today's panel is our very own UCR Administration Board, Michael Rawlings, Frank Bennett, and Steve Duplantie. Unfortunately, our other admins, Shirley and Fidelma, cannot make it today. So, hi Shirley, hi Fidelma. Hi guys.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi. So, today is something new for UCR.
Definitely.
And I think that this is also another wonderful way of us connecting, because the administration of UCR coming together and connecting in itself, that's such a wonderful example for everybody else, how we've grown in friendship and trust and communication. And
things continue to grow.
Yes, exactly. So how is everyone today?
Doing well.
Very good. Glad to hear it. I should start with my way of staying in touch and connected with my inner self. And that is a method which I used when I first began making a conscious effort of being in touch with the real me, which is nearly a mastermind meeting, I guess you could call it. It can be used for problem solving. It can also be a wonderful way to access the cosmic subconscious. It's very simple, and it allows your imagination to go wild, which is connecting to the universe, I feel anyway. You begin by seeing yourself entering an elevator, and there's a choice of buttons, which are the usual buttons, but there is one button which is a different color. It's a white color, and it's labeled L. And I press that button. Once I press the button, the doors close, and I begin to feel myself descending. And once these doors reopen, I see a large, beautifully decorated room, and there's counters on either side, and it looks just like a laboratory. But in the center, there's a large wooden table, like a conference table. Seated at this table are, of course, all of my favorite minds, the people that I've looked up to. It changes. Sometimes it's people that I've never met, and sometimes it's people that I have met. And, for example, like Albert Einstein, Marcus Aurelius, all these people that have made such a wonderful...
An impact, yes.
Thank you. Exactly. A great impact on us and the world. So, as I step out of the elevator, they all stand up, which I feel puts me on their level. And that's a wonderful thing. Not that I'm exactly there, because we're all different, but I do have that self-love, which I feel that I'm worthy to sit in this company. As I approach, they stand and they offer me a seat. And we sit and we talk and we speak about life and spirituality and everything, anything. The funny thing about this is that it's actually me connecting with me. It's me connecting with the universal intelligence, the cosmic subconscious, and that's something that it's available to all of us, of course. It's one of the methods I used when I first began, as I said, getting in touch with me, because it's me talking to me, opening such
a door to a whole nother way of thinking.
Exactly. It's not in a box. It's wide open, and it's different aspects of me.
Paradigm shifting.
Exactly, paradigm shifting. Exactly, Steve.
That just shows how strong the imagination and visualization, like especially when it comes to meditation, works.
Yes.
Like how powerful it is and what it can bring. You can manifest stuff just if you think of it.
Sure, and to put yourself...
Positive or negative.
Yeah, exactly. And to put yourself at a table with great minds like that. But they're all different. It's not as if they were all focusing on the one thing. So I feel that is definitely one way for me to get in touch with my inner self. In an odd way, it's kind of kidding myself. I'm making up a story, but in that story, I am part of that mastermind.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So how about you, Steve? How do you do it?
Well, when it comes to meditation?
Yeah. How you get in touch with your inner...
Well, like I said, visualization, usually. Like, it has to be positive thinking the whole way, because if things get in the way, like a lot of things, external things can distract you from finding your inner self. I
agree.
Yeah. So, I don't really have much of a tactic towards it, but I don't know, like when it comes to finding my inner self, I don't know, I use a lot of, study a lot.
Studying is definitely a wonderful way to figure yourself out, because when you're reading, you're actually...
And like we said yesterday, writing down stuff can really help, like, manifest things into the physical, because you're creating something, especially when it comes to, like, music and stuff like that, or art, like when you're making art, creating it.
Yes, I agree with that, too. Definitely. And music, you mentioned music. You listen to a lot of different types of music?
Yes, especially like, when it comes to meditation, like nature sounds and binaural beats, isochronic tones, those type of things. But they can be distractions as well. Like when it comes to meditation, I think it'd be better to do it outside in actual nature instead of me just listening to nature sounds, like sitting by the river.
I think Steve is breaking up a little bit. You guys have anything to say about that? Michael? Frank?
Well, Frank?
No, after you, Michael.
Hello?
No,
Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I
like what Steve had just said about the visualizations can actually be a distraction. And, I think he's talking about those times when he actually gazes inward, away from the constructions, the mental constructions, the outward distractions. And that that resonates. I think music is a wonderful distraction, but it does have that ability to sort of take us away from our thinking and kind of place us in limbo. Kind of allows us to be in a different place. So I really like I like the things that Steve's saying about that.
I do too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's usually how concentrate best when I'm listening to music. I can just switch everything else off. Just listen to the music. Whether, like Steve said, whether it's binaural beats or isochronic sounds or whatever, as long as it's something smooth, nothing too harsh or.
Well, it can help you rediscover yourself too, like certain songs that bring back memories, kind of.
That's right.
They hold that same energy, like same energy than when you listen to it back whenever it was. I don't know.
I think memories never lose. Yeah.
I personally, I cannot listen to music and do any kind of inward thinking. It doesn't work. It's too distracting for me. I'm listening to every... I'm sorry, Michael, go ahead.
Well, you're right. Music takes you away. And maybe it places you in an emotional place from the past, memories. But the point is, it takes you away. And even the traditional meditative technique that employs a mantra, that's a sound. And the idea is to kind of stiff arm your steady stream of thinking by focusing on something that allows you to maintain a separate focus. And music does that. Just like a mantra, the sound of a mantra does that. It allows you to focus on something to allow thoughts and conceptions and analyses, allows all those kinds of constant feeds sort of drift by like clouds that you don't have to tend to. And so music, I think, does that, yes.
It does.
All vibrations.
It is.
Yes.
It's frequencies and vibrations. Once again, that is everything.
Uh-huh.
As Frank and I had spoken about in the laws of the universe on the last episode. So it seems that as much as we all love music, some can use it. You use frequencies, Michael, for meditating as such, or you believe that it's a...
I use a sound. When you hear that split second when you remember a song and you hear a little bit of it in your mind's eye or your mind's ear, you hear a little of it. You're not singing it. You're not actually orally hearing it, but inside you have a glimpse of the sound itself. When a technique that I use. It sort of employs that. I like to take 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day, usually toward the end of the day before I turn in, and just sort of concentrate on my breathing, but attach a tone to the breathing. Going the tonic to the second degree of the scale and back on your inhale, exhale, attaching a tone to the breath and concentrating on the tone, and then just allowing thoughts and images to just kind of go by unattended to. I have found that it's restful, and there is a point when you're aware of sort of a silent hissing, a thick hissing behind even the sound of the tone that you're purposely attaching to your breathing. And I have found that when you get relaxed and you're allowing your breathing to be nominal, to shift from the sound the tone that you've attached to that breath, either in or out, and just be aware of that thick hissing sound in the background, and then try to just focus just on that, to the exclusion of thoughts and images that drift by. And if you can stay in that concentration on that thick hissing silence behind your breathing becomes more and more nominal. It becomes easier and easier to ignore your thoughts. and there's a certain clarity that tends to come from that, and afterward, you feel kind of renewed, kind of like you've taken a dip in a nice pond.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's odd because we have an extreme hissing right now.
Yeah, where did it come from?
Okay, it's disappearing as we all talk.
Oh, I thought that was Michael trying to show us what the hissing sound or something.
No, but when you quiet your mind and you kind of hear it in the background, it can become deafening. Not there. It's the kind of thing that, since it's always been there, since you were the very first days of being an infant in the world, and you're aware of that there's a surroundings, it is always there. It has always been there, and as a result, it's you tend to just not even notice it because it's always there.
You filter it out. Yeah.
We do filter it out because there are times, and it's amazing, where I'm like, what is that? It's there all the time, as you said.
Yes. It's an inner oral sensation. Yes.
Yes. And it's
amplification of the senses too. Like sometimes you hear like ringing in your ears or buzzing on your head, or these.
Yeah. Yes.
These weird feelings. I don't know. Like it happens a lot during meditation, but like not too often. Like it depends on what type of situation, what type of environment you're in.
That's true. What is your... When I'm outdoors, I do not hear that. I never have. But indoors, where it's nearly amplified.
The silence is deafening, yeah.
The silence is deafening.
Roxanne, even when you're outside and you're not hearing it, you sense that it's there.
Yes.
Exactly, yes.
You kind of have a buzz. Maybe that a word for that would be a vibration or a frequency internal.
Yes.
But this show is about how are you in touch with that inner self?
Right.
And I think that inner self that we all share is the same thing. It's the constructions, it's the memories, it's the ideas that we build that become our world. But if we can step back, if we can stiff arm that for just a few minutes, we might be aware that there's something that is constant for all human beings in the background. We all share that. We are all that. So, I would say how to be aware of your inner self. Be that. Be aware that is there, that is your inner self, your core experience of being conscious. And not that it's something that you have to look for or go for. Well, it is. But that it's always there in residence. And it's just a matter of observing that it is. It's a very subtle thing. And that's why it can be blotted out by thinking and everyday imaging and images and constructions of the mental capability.
That's why it's important to try and be aware of where you are at that moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you can
and be aware of your surroundings too.
Yeah.
It's an odd thing when you think about it. We're constantly taking in this information. And it's new, but it's not new.
We're on automatic pilot most of the time, aren't we?
Yes, we are. And that's that beautiful subconscious that's making it work, the heartbeat, the whole...
We're a biological machine taking in data.
Yeah. And I'm sure that it wouldn't be possible to make a computer as complex as the human being. So this, as we go back to it, again, what Michael was saying, if we realize that there is that one frequency, which is the human frequency, which UCR, when I say we're all on the same frequency, which Michael reminded me of that recently.
I love the phrase.
And
Yeah.
I feel that we are all on the same, even though sometimes we may not know it, we are.
We're far more than the constructions of our 5 physical senses.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're truly magnificent.
We are truly magnificent. And just to admire another human is to admire yourself. But you should start with yourself first.
Yeah, we're so much more than we think we are.
And
But there's always room to help each other find ourselves. Like, that's what UCR is all about.
That's
is
why
true.
we're here. Yeah.
That is true. That connecting. It's a beautiful thing.
Sure is.
So how do you do it, Frank? What's the crux of your keeping yourself connected to the universe?
I guess maybe I'm lucky, maybe I'm cursed, I don't know, but I can do it really anytime as long as I become aware of the moment that I'm in. Pay attention to every little detail, where I am, how I feel, how my bum feels in the seat where I am, how the shoes feel on my feet, all these little things. If you pay attention to them all, you sort of like drown out all the interference outside. Yeah, all the interference. You don't get any static, anything like that. You just become super aware of everything you're doing. You can feel the breath. You can feel the heat as it goes in, the coolness as it goes out. It's a wonderful feeling.
It is.
And I feel I can do that. I can be washing the dishes, and it'll just, I'll just suddenly become super aware of what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's an awareness, most definitely.
It is.
Some people use different things to make them feel alive. But, these are just tools when all we have to do is, as you said, Frank, take a breath. And that in itself, or as Michael says, listen to that frequency, which is constant. And as Steve says, be aware. Just use your imagination.
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness. We can look within at any moment, any second, any millisecond. It's who we are.
We need self-love, of course. Definitely.
Yeah, we do.
Well, yeah, you don't want to be looking inside, do you, if you feel of self-loathing or, if you don't like the person you are, you're not going to spend much time looking inwards, are you? So.
Exactly, yeah. No,
well, that's the choices. We can change at any given time.
Yeah.
If you don't like who you are right now, you can become aware of yourself and of that and make a change. And slowly but surely, nothing stays the same.
Oh, no.
Except for your
yourself. Sorry. Go, Michael.
Except for your inner self.
Except for your inner self, exactly.
That is constant. And from that vantage point, you're right. You can change your life. You can change whatever is not working. You can size up what your thoughts are and decide, that used to work for me, doesn't work for me anymore.
Exactly.
You can change your actions in the world. You can change the way you perceive other people and other things. All those things are mental constructions. Those do not stay the same. Those are constantly in flux, constantly changing. But there is one constant, and that constant is your inner self.
It's true. It's very true. We are constantly one frequency. And it's nice. It's really nice to know that and to appreciate it. I can't believe it. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left, guys. It goes so quickly. Yeah. It goes so quickly. I feel it would be nice if we did this again, either on the same subject or another subject.
We'll have to do another one. I haven't finished my cup of tea yet.
And also to get some other people to join us, which I think would be very nice too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some people were working today. They didn't have, the opportunity. So we'll work it out, and we'll have another group session as such. It would be nice. Very nice.
Definitely. We could do part 2 on this or something else. Like it all depends on how we're feeling at the moment.
That's it. Whatever flows.
We could
Yes.
even go away and try a different method of meditation and come back and tell everybody how it worked.
That's true, you know.
That-
You can,
yeah. Experiment.
anything is possible.
Definitely. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Me too.
I enjoy being with you all. Thank you for doing this.
Oh,
Thank you, Michael, and Roxanne,
Thank you.
and
Yeah,
Frank.
for letting me in.
Thank you, guys. It's always a pleasure. You know, it's a pleasure. It really is. And thank you, of course, also for being the administrators for UCR. It's growing. It's becoming
an honor.
It's becoming what it was first envisioned to be, and it's really growing. It's beautiful.
Baby
we
steps
have
at first. Yeah. We'll get
Everything,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But we know where we're going.
Forward.
Forward, exactly. And we keep, we stay on the frequency as much as we can.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
we know that's what we are, sometimes we tend to kind of flip-flop around the place. But it's pretty
Yeah.
easy to come back
Definitely.
and focus on what matters. And that is us, connection, the world, the universe.
Getting
everything.
people together to help connect the dots to so many things.
That's
So many
right.
different
Right.
things that people question themselves at night, like so many questions to be asked and so many things to be learned on this path. So
Yes.
Forever. Always.
much more learning to go.
And the pieces of the puzzle come together when we mastermind, when we come together and we ask those questions and the answers come.
And we bounce ideas off each other's, and yeah, that's how we do it.
Exactly. Absolutely. Okay, I am going to say au revoir, sayonara,
So now, how did that go?
and
Okay.
we will talk soon. Thank you again, guys. And
Thank you.
everybody, stay in tune with the frequency, the Universal Connection Radio frequency. Bye-bye.
Thank you for sharing the universal connection frequency.